Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in our eternal and beautiful homeland, the land of Israel. Not in Jerusalem, but the beautiful hills of Samaria, the Shomron. And I'm here with Ruthie Lieberman. Ruthie Lieberman is a powerhouse. Anytime you see me in Washington D.C., well, it's I'm basically my work is on the shoulders of giants. And do not judge Ruthie by her height. She is a giant, and it's thanks to the work that she and Sarah Pillay do with the Yes Israel project that we work together with. And Ruthie, Boker Tov and Yom HaAtzmaut Sameach.
Wow, yeah. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Yom Ha'atzmaut Sameach. Yeah, here we are in Binyamin. So we just drove, like, it took us so short from Yerushalayim. I think we drove 10, 15 minutes, and here we are. And it's beautiful, and we're looking out. They're not letting us into this building because they're preparing it for the Prime Minister, who will be showing up very soon. But we shall be out of here by then and walking the ancient tell of Shiloh and taking some guests around. So that's what you see behind us.
So I was actually going to say this because, again, the work we do is about strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship and with politicians and bringing them to Israel, educating them about all the issues that they don't hear about from other directions. We're at the Psagot Winery in the beautiful Binyamin area, right, just right outside of Jerusalem, and the Prime Minister is going to be here soon. And Coach Bruce Pearl is going to be here soon. You work with the Prime Minister. We're here showing Coach Bruce Pearl all about Israel. What what drives you, Ruthie Lieberman, and what are we doing? What's all this work with Yes Israel, and how do you put this all together?
I do apologize to my family that both Avi and I are standing here on Yom Ha'atzmaut instead of on a hike with them somewhere.
Yeah, this is like a July 4th. We're supposed to be out celebrating and enjoying.
I think that somehow what drives me is seeing the passion from other people. A long time ago, I decided that I wasn't going to spend my time trying to convince people of something that they don't think and change minds. Instead, I was going to try to find friends. And what does that mean? Find people who are in positions of power or who might be growing and moving up in positions of power and embrace them. Use some tools for education, hasbara, finding common ground, using issues that we all agree on, and then moving the measure a little further, like getting people to be more involved, more knowledgeable, more just ready to stand up and be with Israel. So being around people like that is really something that's motivational because they tell you, why don't you stand stronger? Why don't you say this is your land? Why don't you just this and that? And you see it. You see it in their eyes before they even ask the question. You know they're going to ask the why don't you question. And that's encouraging and it gives you strength and it gives you the kind of the a feeling that okay, you know what? We're right. We should be proud of it and we should do more.
Now, you've been involved in Israeli politics for decades. How many years exactly?
I'm not going to say.
For decades. And through various U.S. administrations, through various Israeli governments, prime ministers. What is your overall feeling of where we are today on the geopolitical level regarding Israel? Obviously, this war, but specifically in the political level, through all your years of experience and all the people you've had to work with and had to advise about working with.
Well, from the beginning, and this will date me because it's okay. Um, when I started working with Benny Begin, it was very much the princes of the Likud, and people don't even remember that. But these were the sons, pretty much, of the guys who had worked with Menachem Begin and helped found the state, and then fought the Labor Party kind of feeling in the country and moved it to where it was once Menachem Begin took power. So that's ancient history to a lot of you, but to some of us, it's really yesterday. And it used to be that that was the goal. The Likud would move the country away from the socialist labor feeling and move it into the 20th century. So what we're seeing now is a shift from those policies to something that's more based in the pride, the biblical, the reason that we really are all here. We used to claim that the hills behind us should be Jewish because of a strategic fact, right? Oh, we're overlooking the Tel Aviv area, so we have to hold on to the Shomron.
Right, and when you say we, you're saying official Israeli policy and trying to explain the importance of remaining in Judea and Samaria was they'd only use the security issue.
Mhm. And you bring in some generals, right? And they look really tough, and they were taller than me, and they talk about how we must retain the security balance, and we have to control the hills. But then the other side would bring in another set of generals, and they would say the opposite. No,
Right, the political left in Israel. We're bringing their generals, right?
the military,
We can handle it.
yeah,
We
the
can handle it. We can give it
military
away. We can handle it.
strategies have changed. This is how the Romans fought, and this is how we thought in the beginning of the 20th century. And now, no, we have different tools, and we don't need to control the highlands. So, what are you going to do with that? Well, you tell the truth. You
Right.
say, okay, you know what? The other side has been saying all along, I think, and this is the Palestinian Arab side, and the Arabs around us in all the countries are saying that's their land. They belong here. It's their homeland. They've been there for centuries. They've been there. Their father worked the land. Their grandfather worked the land. Well, my relatives were here first. It's called Judea because of the Judahites. So if Yehuda is for the Yehudim and the Jews are actually in the name of the area, then I probably have a moral claim. So let's start making it.
Right.
And instead of hiding and thinking, oh, I don't want them to think I'm crazy or I'm
Oh, we can't talk about the Bible. No one's going to listen to us if we talk about the Bible. And it's not a historical document anyway, it's just a religious document, right? For years, that was the perspective.
Instead, we say we are on the route of the patriarchs. We are on Route 60 of today. The highway is the highway of the Bible, and we're proud of it. And that's
And
why.
they're busy getting ready for the Prime Minister's visit as we're standing here.
Yeah, we're a little. The cops are looking at us. Anyhow, so welcome, Prime Minister, to Binyamin, to Shiloh,
Right.
and
And so but going back to the question, and today even more. So, talking about our claim being the Bible, not just security.
and today, yesterday, we spent time with Coach Pearl, Go Auburn, in Gush Etzion, looking at the path of the patriarchs and proving to ourselves that where there's a Roman milestone, and before that, there's a Second Temple period mikvah, purification of people who walked, Jews who walked to the temple to bring their offerings on the holidays. And here we are. I'm in their footsteps, and that's okay. It's not only okay, it gives me the moral high ground, and it gives me a claim that can't be debunked by someone coming and saying, oh, no, that's not relevant. It's relevant. You might not like it, but I'm here, and there's a reason.
And can you give people actual examples of where you see that in practice, that change from when it was just the princes of Likud just going on the security direction to today, to the actual claims to our right, moral, just right to our ancestral homeland to be living here?
I could say that when we bring congressmen to Israel, we bring influencers and people who we want to send home more educated and more determined to help us make these statements to the general public and to change policy. We see that the members of Knesset themselves don't want to meet in their office. They say, hey, take me out. I'll meet you in the field. I'll show you some stuff. We'll stand there. We'll open the Bible. We'll talk about our heritage. And, these are busy people. And I think, oh, we're going to be sitting in their office in our suits and we could be sitting anywhere. No. When we bring our guests, we try not to do anything that they couldn't do somewhere else. We want to use the uniqueness of Israel. You stand here where you're preparing for the prime minister or you're reading the Bible and you're seeing the land and you're saying, okay, you know what? This is cool. This is here. And it's only here.
Right.
So I would say shout out to Sarah, my partner in crime for this, and Avi, because we push and we do things a little crazy so that we can make this happen and we make Israel come alive because Israel has to speak for itself. We don't even talk a lot on the Yes Israel Project runs Yes Israel Missions, and we do less talking. We let our guests look out the window, see the sights, get out, walk the land, pick up some artifacts, see the history, and then they take the understanding and for themselves, they take it home and they tell other people.
Right, right. And I'll add to that, like on the practical level, just the amount of parliament members, Chavrei Knesset, today versus even 10 years ago, forget about 20 years ago, who are standing up for the just moral right of the Jewish people to all of our homeland. We're seeing a generational change of leadership in Israel. We're still going through it. We don't necessarily have it, and Netanyahu doesn't necessarily have as many as possible to have him talk the talk correctly all the time. And he's still doing with the political pressures of those Likud members who are there for not as ideological reasons, let's just say. But we're witnessing the change and we're living through that change. And it's wonderful for me to be working together with you and Sarah on this, to be allowing U.S. politicians and VIPs who are not necessarily familiar with all this and bring them in and see the excitement and the generational change of political leadership in addition to the beauty and internalizing the unbelievable messaging of the Jewish people return as sovereign in our homeland and like feeling that. So these are unbelievable times.
Well, look, when you talk to someone from your heart and you share out there, you look at it and you let them see it for themselves, it's much more authentic. And I feel that it works because it's true. It's not like we're hiding something or we're skewing facts. We're just showing someone what it is. And then they take that and they connect with us, and they share it further. And hopefully they actually have influence. I can tell you that Mike Johnson was the other guy on one of the trips. Doesn't matter who he was the other guy too, but shout out there for Ohio. But, nobody even remembered who was that guy. But the fact is that we connected with people who then work their way through the political system very quickly and rise to the top and have a lot of influence. And I can say we continue behind the scenes, doesn't matter how, to have a say in that office. And it's wonderful. You walk into Congress and you can see on the walls, you can see pictures of our trips
Right.
because they're so proud of it and they want to share it. And they don't just say, oh, I'm busy, I have to go to a committee meeting on some other issue. They say, what can I do for Israel today? And they'll call us and write us and badger us until we give them something to answer that need that they have. What can I do for Israel today? So we all stand up together, and that is what gets me going.
And that is the importance of the work we do with the Yes Israel Project here at the Pulse of Israel, 12 Tribe Films Foundation. It's educating whoever we can in order to make a difference, because it's not just a difference for Israel, it's a difference for the whole freedom-loving world. That's a strong Israel is a strong freedom-loving world, a strong America. Ruthie Lieberman, the Yes Israel Project, thank you for everything.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day, folks. And again, understand, the stronger Israel is, the better and stronger and more secure you are going to be. So Jewish, not Jewish, you're a Jew, you're not living here yet, celebrate the 77-year young, right? Because we're 3,000 plus years old. But our third Jewish Commonwealth is 77 years young. Celebrate that because we are a blessing for the whole of humanity.
That's it for today's special Pulse of Israel program, when you get a daily, belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect truth about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world. If you are not yet a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe today. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We're heavily censored across all the social media platforms. It's thanks to your support, large donations or small donations, that we're able to do our work. And we have so much work to be done, so much truth to inspire people with, especially the Jews. And it's thanks to your donations. So every once in a while, just click on the donate button on pulseofisrael.com. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.